after the decisive victory at the Battle of Danakan in 1040, Tughrul Bey rose as Sultan of the Seljuk Empire, marking a new era of expansion and power. Following his coronation, the Grand Council at Merv gathered under his command, with his generals Shah Bey, Musa Inanç Bey and others, determined to expand their realm. They divided their forces, each setting out on their destined path of conquest, driven by ambition and the dream of empire. Tughrul Bey swiftly secured the capital Nishapur, strengthening it as the center of Seljuk power. He then advanced on the provinces of Jurjan and Tabaristan, sweeping through these territories like a storm, compelling the emirs to submit and join the growing Seljuk dominion. Meanwhile, Shah Bey led a formidable army towards Beh, where he laid siege to the city defended by the Ghaznavid governor Altuntash. Despite fierce resistance and a counterattack by Sultan Masud's son Maudud, Shah Bey emerged victorious, capturing Beh and forcing its surrender. His campaign didn't stop there. He continued to conquer the cities of Jurjan, Badghis, Huttalan, and the fortresses of Tabaristan, cementing his name as a master of strategy and a force to be reckoned with. Musa Inanç Bey, seizing his moment, marched on Herat, capturing the city and establishing it as a Seljuk stronghold. In the south, Ertaş, brother to Ibrahim Yinal, swept through Sistan, subjugating the province and having the khutbah read in Musa Inanç Bey's name, marking the region's allegiance to Seljuk rule. On February the 12th, 1041, the Emir of Jen Shah Malik, who was a fierce and unyielding enemy of the Seljuk Empire, unleashed his ambitions upon the region of Khwarezm. This land, granted to him by Sultan Masud, became the battleground for one of the bloodiest encounters of the age. Shah Malik led a vast army into the field of Asib, where he clashed with Khwarezm Shah Ismail, the ruler of the region, in a battle that raged with unbridled fury. For 3 days, swords clashed and arrows darkened the sky as blood flowed like rivers, staining the earth with the toll of war. The intensity of the conflict was unmatched, with neither side willing to yield. Yet, despite their fierce resistance, the forces of Khwarezm Shah Ismail could not withstand the relentless assault of Shah Malik's troops. Overwhelmed and defeated, Ismail had no choice but to abandon his shattered lines. On March the 29th, 1041, with what remained of his loyal forces, he fled Khwarezm, seeking refuge with the one power he hoped could save him, the Seljuks. While Shah Malik ascended to the throne of Khwarezm in the city of Urgench, he remained oblivious to the shifting tides. Unaware that Sultan Masud, his benefactor, had died, Shah Malik had a khutbah read in the name of the deceased ruler, proclaiming his loyalty in vain. His conquest, however, posed a dire threat to the Seljuk Empire, for Shah Malik was not just a rival, he was a sworn enemy to all the Seljuks stood for. This growing menace could not go unanswered. Shah Bey, known for his strategic brilliance and fierce loyalty to the Seljuk cause, saw the need to act swiftly. Breaking away from his campaign against the Ghaznavids, he set his sights on Khwarezm. With Khwarezm Shah Ismail and his remaining troops now by his side, Shah Bey marched with a renewed force. In the spring of 1043, the Seljuk Sultan Tughrul Bey, alongside his trusted commander Shah Bey, set forth on a decisive campaign against Khwarezm. Their target was Shah Malik, the Emir of Jend, whose defiance and enmity had become a thorn in the side of the Seljuks. The siege of Urgench, the heart of Khwarezm, was swift and unyielding. Shah Malik, recognizing the peril he faced, attempted a desperate breakthrough to escape the encirclement, but his efforts were in vain. He was soundly defeated and fled into the vast, unforgiving desert, hoping to find refuge with the Ghaznavids, his former allies. With Shah Malik's retreat, the people of Khwarezm recognized the futility of further resistance. They bowed to the might of the Seljuk forces, and Khwarezm was absorbed into the Seljuk Empire, becoming yet another jewel in the crown of Tughrul Bey's expanding dominion. The swift subjugation of this pivotal region marked a turning point, solidifying Seljuk control and spreading their influence even further into the heart of Central Asia. But the Seljuks were not content to merely hold the land. They sought to bring their enemy to justice. Ertash, the relentless Seljuk commander, pursued Shah Malik with the determination of a predator stalking its prey. Far from Urgench, in the remote reaches near Mekran, Shah Malik's luck ran out. He was captured and delivered to Tughrul Bey, who had him imprisoned. There in captivity, Shah Malik's once proud defiance withered. He would remain a prisoner until the end of his days, his ambitions crushed by the very empire he had sought to defy. In a twist of fate, the Seljuks achieved a measure of poetic justice. Their victory over Shah Malik was not just the downfall of one man, it was the beginning of their dominance over both the Ghaznavids and the Karakhanids, the very powers that had once challenged their rise. The Seljuks, who had once been the hunted, now turned into the hunters, taking vengeance upon their enemies and bringing them under their control. The fall of Shah Malik symbolized the end of resistance and the dawn of Seljuk supremacy, as they continued their ascent to greatness, reshaping the fate of empires with their indomitable will. In the aftermath of the conquest of Khwarezm, the Seljuks faced a new challenge from an old adversary. Mawdud, who had risen to the throne of the Ghaznavid Empire, launched a counterattack to reclaim his lost territories. Seizing the moment when Tughrul Bey was engaged in his campaign in Khwarezm, Mawdud moved with determination and besieged the city of Herat. With relentless force, he captured Herat and set his sights on the province of Sistan, determined to undermine Seljuk control. When word of the Ghaznavid advance reached the Seljuk ranks, Tughrul Bey immediately returned from his expedition in Khwarezm and marched towards Herat to confront Mawdud. The city of Herat was soon under siege by the Seljuk forces, but Tughrul Bey, the fierce commander, fell gravely ill in the midst of the campaign. Unable to continue, he was forced to retreat, while the Seljuk forces momentarily lost their momentum. Sensing the urgency of the situation, Tughrul Bey dispatched Ertash to Sistan to confront Mawdud directly. Ertash, known for his sharp military acumen, clashed with Mawdud in the fields of Sistan. Despite Mawdud's earlier gains, the Ghaznavid Sultan met his match on this battlefield. Ertash's tactical prowess led the Seljuks to a decisive victory, reclaiming both Sistan and Herat for the Seljuk Empire. The banners of the Seljuks once again flew over these crucial territories, restoring the prestige of their dominion. As Tughrul Bey's illness worsened, he entrusted the responsibility of leading the Seljuk forces to his young son Alparslan, who was merely 14 or 15 years old. This moment marked the first emergence of a future legend onto the stage of history. Alparslan, whose name would later be celebrated as Abul Fath, or the father of conquests, led his first military campaign with a brilliance that belied his youth. In a spectacular debut, Alparslan defeated the Ghaznavids in battle, proving his mettle as a military leader, destined for greatness. The news of Alparslan's victory reached his ailing father Tughrul Bey. Together, father and son launched a renewed campaign, pushing deeper into Ghaznavid-held lands. They conquered the cities of Termez, Kubadian, Walish, Kunduz, and the entire region of Toharistan. With each victory, the young Alparslan's reputation as a formidable warrior grew, and his father entrusted him with the governance of these newly conquered lands. Despite the Seljuks' sweeping victories, the Ghaznavids demonstrated resilience. Mawdud's forces, though battered, remained unbroken, proving that the spirit of the Ghaznavid state was still alive. Their ability to continue the struggle despite the Seljuk onslaught highlighted the enduring strength that Sultan Masud had once feared would crumble. Thus, the rivalry between the Seljuks and the Ghaznavids endured. Shah Bey, the resolute leader of the Seljuks, recognized the looming threat as Mawdud. The Sultan of Ghazni formed a powerful alliance with the Karaghanid ruler Arslan Khan and the Buwayhi leader Abu Khalija. The objective was clear: to crush the Seljuks, the mightiest state in the region. In response, Shah Bey sprang into action, preparing for defense against this formidable coalition. As the sun set over Khorasan, Shah Bey stood firm, determined to protect his homeland. The impending conflict would test their resolve, but the Seljuks were ready to rise and defend their legacy against those who sought to extinguish their power. This stage was set for an epic confrontation that would resonate through history.